Hi folks, Mike Temple here with Yellow Blue Ecotech in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I feel like it's important to share a follow-up story to a video that I shot some years ago when I was in the Dallas area. There was a nice lady by the name of Lula Lapointe. I shot a video out at her house. Lula was actually saving 50% on her utility bills. And there's a follow-up story that a lot of people need to hear. And after the video was shot, and Lula shared with me the savings that she was getting, she went on to explain something that I thought was very critical. It's important for you to know if you're considering using our products at Yellow Blue. A few days after Lula had installed our reflective insulation in her home there, she had a son who stopped over to see her, and her son happened to be a builder, a person who built houses there in Texas. And when he found out that she had installed some reflective insulation, he quite frankly he corrected her, said she had made a mistake. Why would you ever need any more insulation, Mom? You got plenty of insulation upstairs already. And quite frankly, at the time that he came over, she had only had it installed for a few days, but Lula had the presence of mind to say, honey, you don't understand. I've seen the science behind this, and you can't disprove it actually works. And so she stood her ground, fortunately, because around 6 or 7 months later, here we were looking at these utility bills, and this lady was saving over 50% on her wintertime electric bills. And so the reason why the follow-up to this is so important is because, number one, you catch that her son was a builder, who, a lot of people would consider a builder to be, fairly educated about building materials such as insulation. And in Lula's case, having a close a son who would share this kind of information with her, you would think, maybe she would take his advice, but she stood her ground. And I guess the most important thing here is to realize that there are people who come to seminars and they learn an awful lot. I know I personally have had people come to my presentations who are extremely educated engineers, and in particular I remember one gentleman coming up and shaking my hand one time here in Iowa, who had been teaching architect at Iowa State University. He had taught for 6 years. Specifically in architecture, had been responsible for building a $1 billion city in the Middle East. And they did that completely from scratch and shipped all the materials from the United States. But after the program, he came up and he shook my hand. He said, Mike, I just want to thank you. I learned a lot today. And I about fell over. Because I'm thinking, here this guy's an architect, and he learned from me. And really, it's not to my credit, because this is all information that Yellow Blue has put together for our customers and for our potential customers. So with all this said, the one thing that I think you can take away from what I'm sharing is that sometimes you'll leave a presentation like you see at a restaurant or in your home with a Yellow Blue consultant. You'll leave that presentation and you'll encounter one of three types of people. A lot of times those people will be either uninformed, just don't know all the facts, or they will be misinformed. They've got faulty information, which comes from a multitude of sources now that we have the internet. And then there's the third type, and quite frankly, just call it what it is. It's a know-it-all. It's a person who thinks that they know everything about everything. And we're all going to encounter those types of people. But I want to encourage you to be like Lula, because Lula stood her ground, and it made all the difference in the world for her financially and comfort-wise, because she believed in what she saw. The science is there, and you can't change the science. It's just like gravity. Gravity works in all of our houses, and pure aluminum reflects heat in all of our houses, and there's just no disputing that. So if you're considering, putting one of Yellow Blue's blankets into your home, I encourage you, go with the science. Don't go with the hearsay or the opinions and thoughts of other people, because those opinions really don't really mean much in the sight of the science that you've seen. So thank you very much.